Okay, we have returned, and we'll start the next case in supernatural investigations. One Bigfoot in the grave. Good work diving into your first supernatural investigation, Matthew. Glad you kept your nerves among all those vampires. Most vampires abide by the peace agreement we struck with their leader, Dr. Aculus. But as you saw, there are always a few bad eggs. Like the vamp that kidnapped Mina and is still holding her somewhere. Hope tracked a signal from Mina's iPair watch here to the Oregon woods. Chief, I'll accompany Matthew to check it out. You think you're up to it? You're still wet behind the ears. Matthew, this is Luke, and he's still on probation on this team. I'm new on this team, but I've done this stuff before. Plus, Matthew will be with me. We can handle this. Alright, kid. Anything you find, you report back to me. Yes, sir. Let's go, Matthew. Matthew, what the heck is that? A gorilla or a giant? If I didn't know any better, I'd say it was a Bigfoot. But that can't be. Big feet aren't real, right? We better call the chief to let him know. What have you got for me, Matthew? Chief, I know we came here to look for Mina, but we found what looks like a Bigfoot who was beaten to death. Are big feet or Bigfoots real? Of course they're real. Big feet are shy, harmless, supernatural creatures living in the Pacific Northwest. But they're going extinct. There's only a couple hundred left in the world. So you better find who killed this one and don't mess it up. I won't. And we've got no leads on Mina, so we can focus on Bigfoot. We'll take another look around. Safety vest and a pile of moss. Matthew, can you believe we're looking for a Bigfoot's killer now? I mean, we're totally capable despite what the chief thinks. It's just unexpected is all. Anyway, this safety vest could have been dropped by a witness. There's a logo on the back. A closer look at the logo might point us toward the vest's owner. And something could be hidden in that pile of moss. Let's search through it. This is my first investigation with you, Matthew, but I assume we'll eventually be talking to suspects. We can't tell them we're supernatural hunters. Gwen usually pretends we're journalists. We can say we write for the Bigfoot Daily Gazette. That sounds real, right? I gotta say, I don't know if I'll pull out pretending to be anyone, but I'll give it a shot. I need to get started, folks, so sit tight. Alright. Let's get the logo out of the way. Tooth logging. Okay, the safety vest comes from a logging company called Beaver Tooth Logging, and the employee number on the front points to an Elwood Grimes. So I guess this is when we pretend we're Bigfoot journalists and ask if Elwood knows anything about our furry victim. Mr. Grimes, we're with the Bigfoot Daily Gazette. Being a lumberjack in the area, do you have any Bigfoot sightings to report? Loggers all have stories, especially when they've done it as long as I have. Dark shapes moving in the trees. Strange sounds early in the morning. Have you ever seen a dead Bigfoot? A dead one? Are you crazy? Don't you think I would have told you that first, if I'd seen one dead? I don't know, maybe you were leading up to it. Look, kid, I don't know what your article is about, but I have nothing else to tell you. There's a Bigfoot museum in town you could check out, if you haven't already. Now I've got to get back to work. I wish people would stop calling me kid. It reminds me of my foster dads. Okay, Matthew, you're right. We've got to stay focused. Mr. Grimes gave us that tip about the museum. Let's go check it out. Welcome to my Museum of Cryptozoology. This is where I study the existence of legendary animals. My name is Darius Wexler, and I specialize in Bigfoot artifacts. That's why we're here, actually. Matthew and I write for the Bigfoot Daily Gazette. I've never heard of it. I would think it pretty prominent if you publish daily. What is the web address? Oh, the website is down for maintenance, actually. It got, hacked. That is unfortunate. We'll have a look around, and if you have any questions, I'm happy to help. Shoe print. Got it. And I got the first star. Matthew, someone tracked blood on the floor here. Let's collect a sample before the curator guy sees us. I'll cover you. And hey, what's the deal with this torn paper? We better put it back together. Got it. You've got some of that bloody dirt from the print on the floor? Cool. Let's get it to the lab. Water bottle. Awesome, Matthew. I knew there'd be something hidden in that pile of moss. The label on the bottle says Marigold Carson. Let's see if this Marigold witnessed Bigfoot's murder. Miss Carson, we're journalists looking into the death of a possible Bigfoot in the area. We found your water bottle nearby. Did you see anything unusual when you were there? Bigfoot? Oh, you mean that guy in the furry costume? I saw him, but I didn't go near him. I was standing on a rock taking a selfie, and when I went to post it, I saw that thing in the background. There was no one else around, and I didn't know what to do, so I just booked it. You didn't report it to anyone? No, I just wanted a GTFO, you know what I mean? I mean, what if that furry guy was killed and the killer was still in the woods somewhere? You know, being here talking to you is kind of freaking me out again. If it's cool, I'm gonna go. Got it. Matthew, this is a map of the woods. It shows different paths leading to and from the picnic spot where we found the Bigfoot. And look, the map is labeled sightings. Do you think the museum curator was the one following the Bigfoots? Big feet? Anyway, their movements? Let's ask Mr. Wexler about this map. Mr. Wexler, we found this map. Ah, yes. This demarcates the paths our local Big Feet traveled most recently, according to reported sightings. But we actually found a dead Bigfoot in the picnic area shown on the map. You found a dead Bigfoot? So that's the subject of your article for the Bigfoot Daily Gazette. Oh, what devastating news. Such timid, gentle creatures deserve our respect. I have followed their movements, always intending to approach only when it is clear they are ready for interaction. So you never heard of anyone making contact with one, violent or otherwise? Heavens no! I'm the resident expert, and the closest encounter I've ever had was when I articulated the skeleton I have on display. Speaking of which, when your investigation is through, I will be more than happy to take your specimen off your hands, for a handsome price, of course. It deserves the proper last rites. We'll see about that. I'll let the two run their courses, so for now, this is Matthew. I'll see you soon. Okay, there we go. And we're back. Let's get the results of the autopsy from Ben. Matthew, most people don't even know big feet exist. And here someone's beating this poor thing to death. Yeah, I hadn't realized big feet were real. So how do you know it's a someone who killed him? What if it was a unicorn or something? Because unicorns don't eat trail mix. Sorry, what? I don't follow. I'll explain in a second. First, there was definitely a fight before this Bigfoot got his lights knocked out. I found bruises and bits of his fur torn out. Judging by the placement of the torn fur and bruises, it's clear Bigfoot's opponent was human-sized, so not a unicorn. And in the scuffle, they got peanuts, dried fruit, and chocolate on Bigfoot's fur. Anyone who spent time in the woods knows that peanuts, dried fruit, and chocolate make delicious trail mix. So we know the killer eats trail mix. Well, Matthew, this puts us hot on the trail to catching our killer. It does. Matthew, this sample is of the victim's blood, but there's evidence from your killer mixed in it too. Wow, did you get all that by sniffing it? Like, with your werewolf nose? No, Luke, I am a scientist, and I use highly specialized scientific instruments. Okay, sorry, I was just kidding. Anyway, your killer got the victim's blood on their boots. I found traces of rubber mixed into the sample. The sample contained a vulcanized rubber used specifically for hiking boots due to its grip, breathability, and shock absorption. From this, you know your killer wears hiking boots. Well, Matthew, when we catch up with our killer, they'll be shaking in their boots. Matthew, any progress on the beaten Bigfoot you found? Well, we talked to a few potential suspects, but don't worry, we pretended to be journalists for the Bigfoot Daily Gazette. Daily? Who the heck has that much to say about Bigfoot? Sounds totally fake. That's true. I guess I just got excited. Anyway, we spoke with a lumberjack who works in the area, but he wasn't aware of the murder. He said he's only ever heard strange sounds and seen the bushes move, stuff like that. But he pointed us to a local museum with a very knowledgeable curator. However, he also says he's never met a Bigfoot in person. So two of your suspects in a Bigfoot's murder have never seen a Bigfoot in real life. Not great leads, kid. Hey, didn't you say yourself that big feet are notoriously hard to spot? Anyway, we do have a suspect who saw him, Marigold Carson, a hiker, but she mistook the victim for a dead guy in a costume. Good. Don't tell her otherwise. If she's not our killer, best not freak her out by insisting Bigfoot's real. Matthew, did you say Bigfoot? I was just at a cave bar with my hottie McDreamboat, and we heard someone bragging about seeing a Bigfoot. Hello. We'll get to chapter 2 after this. Do not go anywhere. We have returned, and let's start chapter 2 of One Bigfoot in the Grave. We last left off with Gwen saying that, yep, this is it. What's a cave bar? It's a bar in a cave. It was so cool. If we go quick, the braggart might still be there. Great. Matthew, let's head to the cave bar. Got the first one. I'm still only 20, so it's a good thing I have a fake ID or I couldn't join you here, Matthew. Don't worry, my fake ID is good from hustling. Oh boy. Hustling pool and... Well, there's nobody here. There's something left behind. Wait, that's Marigold's phone. I'm probably going to have to look at Ace's videos just to see what it says. I don't know how this thing happened. Could Biggie refer to Bigfoot? And the scarf you found... Oh boy. Oh boy. I have to skip out on this coins. Hold on, folks. Okay. Got me 4 stars from the crime scene. I'm gonna get the last one after I get rid of this. Get all these out of the way. Cool, let's get the sample of fur from the scarf to Priya for testing. Okay, 12 hours. I'm gonna get the results after my class tomorrow. So the note on this flower crown says, Biggie, I bestow upon you this crown made of flowers, to wear in your hair while we sip tea for hours. And it's signed Bathy. Hey, that's the flower crown I made for Biggie, my fuzzy friend. What are you doing with this crown? With his crown? Well, we're curious who Biggie is. Biggie is short for Biggie Footy, which is his real name, and Bathy is short for my name, Bathsheba. I can spell it if you want. B-A-T... No, that's fine, Bathsheba. Matthew and I have some questions about Biggie, if you have a moment. Bathsheba, I'm sorry to say that someone killed Biggie. Biggie got killed? But he was my best friend. Nobody wants to be friends with a vampire like me, but Biggie didn't care. I braided his hair and told him stories, and we raced each other in the woods. So you're a vampire? And you were friends with Bigfoot? What the... Okay, do you know if he had enemies? No, but if I find out who killed him, I'm gonna suck out all their blood until their body turns inside out. Oh, now Biggie's gone and I need a new friend. Will you be my friends now? Want to have a tea party with marmalade scones? I can braid your hair. Well, we have a lot to do. We better get going. Thanks for your help. Matthew, is that a picture of Bigfoot here on Marigold's phone? She posted the photo on Buzzer with the caption, "Gonna get this sicko." So much for claiming he was dead when she found him. Let's go get Marigold's story straight. Marigold, you didn't tell us you saw the furry costume guy before he was murdered. Yeah, I figured that would make me super shady, and since I didn't kill him, I didn't mention it. Believe me, I almost called the cops on him because he was totes sketch. What does that mean, Bigfoot was totes sketch? I was on a cliff taking this amazing pic of the valley below, no filter, and that guy came out of the bushes. I could have totally beefed it. Luckily, my hiking boots kept me from slipping off the side of the cliff, but that guy had no right going around freaking people out like that. So I put that sicko on blast to warn people he was out here, and I swore if I saw him again, I'd make sure he couldn't scare anyone else. How exactly would you make sure? I mean, like I'd call the police, not kill the guy, but IMO, he crossed someone who hated his gorilla costume shtick even more than I did. I'll let the fur run its course. I'll have this last star collected by then, so for now, this is Matthew. I'll see you soon. Okay, folks, we've returned. Let's get the results of the fur from Priya. So, Luke, have you got a wisecrack about me, a werewolf, analyzing that first sample you brought in? No. Just curious about the results. The sample is Bigfoot's fur, right? Yes, it is. And soaked into the fur were traces of DEET, the primary ingredient in insect repellents. I assume Bigfoot doesn't use bug spray. Nope, your killer uses bug spray and got some on the victim's fur during the murder. Ah, that makes more sense. Well, Matthew, the killer's gonna need more than bug spray to keep us away. Speaking of, we know the killer went to the museum. Let's take another look around there. Okay. There's a shell. Oh no, that's the broken plaster cast. Matthew, looks like someone broke one of the museum's plaster casts. Could it tie into our case? Let's reassemble it. And you're right, we could examine this chest to see if there's anything hidden inside. It's definitely a right foot. Matthew, this plaster cast is a big footprint. Or rather, it's a Bigfoot print. But who broke it? Let's get it to the lab. Got it. Out of the Woods, Arthur Darkwood. Matthew, this book you found in the chest is the new Arthur Darkwood novel. I've never read his stuff, but Felix says it's super creepy. He mentioned Darkwood was doing a series on Bigfoot. Looks like this one just came out. Wait, he signed this copy. That means he's here. He might know something about our case. We don't have to pretend to be journalists. We'll just say we're big fans. Let's go talk to him. Hi, Mr. Darkwood. This is Matthew, and I'm Luke. We're big fans of your books. I'm flattered to hear that. Which one is your favorite? Oh, there's so many good ones. How about the one, there's that monster with the tentacles? Speaking of monsters, I know you're writing about Bigfoot now. What would you say if we told you we found a dead Bigfoot in the woods earlier today? I'd say you have the imagination of a writer. I myself was inspired to write the Bigfoot series when I put on my hiking boots one day and took off into the woods. Naturally, the mythic legend of Bigfoot sprang to mind, and I jotted down the first sentences of the novel there in the forest, on the back of a leaf. Huh. Wow, yeah, very interesting. Well, we've got to be going. Thanks for your time, Mr. Darkwood, and keep up the good writing. I'll see you guys when this is done. See y'all soon. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of the plaster cast for Felix Reed. God, I love that last name. Yo, Matthew, I heard you found a smelly, hairy monster in the woods. Too bad he's dead. I'd gladly take Bigfoot over Luke as a roommate any day. You say that, but Bigfoot probably snore worse than you. And good luck getting one to listen to you ramble about your books. Good point. You listen and soak knowledge up like a little sponge. Anyway, that cast of yours was a pretty typical Bigfoot exhibit. Footprints are like the furry dude mementos to find, you know. Every self-respecting collector has a few. This one wasn't real special. Weird part though, there was some gross stuff on it. I checked with Priya and apparently it was chainsaw lubricant. You meet any lumberjacks lately? Actually, yeah, Elwood Grimes is a lumberjack. That means he broke the cast. Thanks for the help, Felix. Matthew, let's go talk to Mr. Grimes. Mr. Grimes, why'd you destroy this plaster cast in the Bigfoot Museum? Because Bigfoot broke all my logging equipment. I showed up just as he was stomping the gears out of my chainsaw, and then he split before I could catch him. Doesn't your company have insurance for that kind of damage? Not for damage done by mythical creatures. If I told my boss Bigfoot broke my tools, I'd be a laughingstock. So I bought all new equipment with my own cash. Oh no. Oh gosh. Hold on, everybody. There we go. Now I can't afford new hiking boots, and I'm living on trail mix to save money. I've also been diluting my bug spray to make it last, but it's less effective. Now I've got mosquito bites on my mosquito bites. After it happened, I passed the Bigfoot Museum and my anger exploded. I went in there and threw that plaster cast to the ground to watch it blast apart. I hope that got it out of your system before you did something worse. So, Matthew, a couple of suspects have shown their true feelings about our murdered Bigfoot. Mr. Grimes lost it after Bigfoot broke his logging equipment, and he had to pay for replacements himself. Meanwhile, Bigfoot spooked Marigold so bad that she vowed revenge. She still thinks he was a person in a costume. And apparently Bigfoot was best friends with a vampire, though we only have our own pretty unstable word for that. Well, I guess you could... What? Something fell on me! It's like a big skull or something, and it's stuck! Help me, Matthew! Oh, goodness. I don't know whether to laugh or be astounded. But I do know we will get to chapter 3 after this. And we're back. Let's start chapter 3 of One Bigfoot in the Grave. That's what we last left off on. Oh no! My confabulous majesticus cranium! Mr. Wexler, you gotta help me. It's stuck! Don't squirm too much. The extra row of teeth beneath the nasal cavity is very sharp. The extra what? Just sit down nice and easy and we'll get this removed. Phew! What a relief to have that thing off my head. I do apologize for that. It would have broken on the floor if you weren't there to catch it. I will be sure to hang it more securely this time. You do that. Before I'm attacked by something else from your collection, Matthew and I are off to the crime scene. Good move. So it's the postcard. Matthew, that trap is gigantic. We should send it to Priya or something. Can you do it, Matthew? Wait, what is in this teacup you just found out? Or something? And someone dropped this postcard. What could that mean? Oh boy. Let's get to work on that. And another coins that I'll have to skip. Just a moment, folks. Alright. Now the We got 4 stars, so let's get this out of the way. $49944. $49292. And let's see. 42394. Okay. Perfect, Matthew. You detached the trap from the tree. Let's have Hope take a look at it. Oh, it's 12 hours. Okay. Got it. Great. Now I can look at this suspiciously blood-like sample you got from the teacup under the microscope. That. Bigfoot blood. Wow. Matthew, the stuff in that teacup was Bigfoot blood. The blood being in a teacup means someone was going to drink it. And the only people I know who drink blood around here are vampires. That means a couple onto Bigfoot's alleged vampire friend Bathsheba. Let's see what she has to say about this. Again, Matthew, will you be friends with me now? Hoppity hoppity hop. We dance until we drop. Let's not. I must say you're not what I'm used to in vampires. I have more imagination than my brothers and sisters, and even Daddy Aculus. I can see things that aren't there. How fun. I just imagined that I was eating marmalade scones, even though I only have this traily mixy-off-and Trixie. But I take a bite and get sconesy delight. Well, do you find Bigfoot blood delightful too? And did you have to fight Biggie to get it? What? No, he gave it to me. I never would have hurt Biggie. Your mean chief says vampires can't have human blood, but other animal blood is so icky. But Biggie is closer to a human, and he was nice and gave me his blood to drink. If we find out you took advantage of Bigfoot's generosity, our mean chief will have a word with you. Do it. Message to publisher. Okay, so the full text on the postcard says, about our Bigfoot problem. It's worse than I thought. But don't worry, I'm taking care of it. Who could have written this? The address is for Bump in the Night Books in New York City. Ah, Bump in the Night Books is Arthur Darkwood's publisher. This postcard is from him. Let's go talk to Mr. Darkwood about this Bigfoot problem. And remember, we're pretending to be his fans. Mr. Darkwood, we found this postcard you wrote. What did you mean when you say Bigfoot problem? Well, the problem started with my latest book, which depicts Bigfoot as a slavering beast. But on release, fans immediately took to the forums to denounce the book as cruel to the image of Bigfoot. Many vowed to stop reading my work. So my publisher arranged a stunt to have me go into the woods to research Bigfoot. I scoffed at the idea, since I believed Bigfeet were mere fiction. But my publisher threatened to drop me if I didn't go, so I reluctantly packed up my insect spray and trail mix and came to Oregon. And on an innocent walk through the woods, I actually saw a Bigfoot. I couldn't believe my eyes, and the fans had been right. The creature is as gentle as can be. Then I realized if Bigfeet were ever exposed as being real and gentle, my career could dissolve before my eyes. So how did you take care of your Bigfoot problem? Well, I had to revise my series to make the evil Bigfoot in it an anomaly to keep my readership. But reworking the entire series will take months. I am not looking forward to it. In fact, I better get back to my outlining. He's in the running. I'll let the Unchained Trap run its course. I'll see you when that's finished. Okay, we return. Let's get the results of the Unchained Trap from Hope. So, Luke, Felix tells me that when you're in your trailer, you mostly do supernatural research and clean your guns. Not the party type, are you? No. Is that a problem? No, I like it. Just keep being serious about the job and you'll go far. Huh, thanks. Anyway, what can you tell us about the huge trap Matthew found? Well, the trap was custom built. The jaws were made especially wide to accommodate a Bigfoot. So now the question is, who ordered this custom trap? Well, I matched the trap's serial number to a purchase order made out by one Darius Wexler. Mr. Wexler, the museum curator, a trap doesn't exactly match his whole respect the Bigfeet attitude he had earlier. Let's see what's up with that. Mr. Wexler, you had us believe you respected Bigfeet, but we just found out about a trap you set up in the woods. Care to comment? Who told you that? Who is your source? Okay, I admit it. I set the trap. But I am old and haunted by the thought of leaving this life without having witnessed the majesty of a Bigfoot walking the forest. I assure you, Matthew, despite how this looks, I am an environmentalist. I only use insect repellent when absolutely necessary. The trail mix I eat is palm oil free, and my hiking boots are faux leather. Well, if your trap had worked, you'd only have succeeded in seeing a much less majestic Bigfoot limp through the woods. Forgive me, Matthew, it was the desperate act of an impatient old man. Please don't publish this in your gazette. It would ruin my reputation. Matthew, just hours ago we found a dead creature that had only appeared before in blurry photos. And now it's clear plenty of people had seen Bigfoot, and some even wanted him dead. his supposed protector, Mr. Wexler, got so impatient to meet a Bigfoot that he put out a giant trap to force an encounter. Then there's Mr. Darkwood, who wrote a novel about Bigfoot being a bloodthirsty beast and had to change everything when he found out that the opposite was true. And if Bigfoot is truly kind, maybe Bathsheba was telling the truth when she said he voluntarily gave her his blood to drink. But she's a little loony. I have trouble believing anything she says. I feel like we're so close, but the outlines of this murder are still unclear. Hey, you're right. We know the killer went to the cave bar. Let's check it out. You think putting that torn wrapper back together will help the case, Matthew? You're the crime expert. Go for it. Meanwhile, I wonder if the killer hid anything in this crate of bottles. Let's take a look. Trail mix. Got it. Matthew, you were right to pick up that torn wrapper. It's for trail mix. That means it could be our killers. Let's send it to Priya. A bloody rock. Oh wow, Matthew, look at that bloody rock. This might be the murder weapon. I mean, why else would it be hidden under those bottles? Send it to the lab. This is 15 hours. I'll see you guys when these two are finished. Laters. Okay, we are back. Let's put a killer behind bars with the trail mix bag. Oh, hi Matthew. Sorry, I'm just reserving some time at the spa tomorrow. We've been busy on the move and I need to unwind. A massage or a mud bath or even just a facial peel. A facial peel? That doesn't sound relaxing. Well, when you're also getting a foot massage and drinking cucumber water, it is the pinnacle of relaxation. I think I prefer a walk in the woods and a bag of trail mix. Speaking of, did that trail mix bag Matthew found belong to Bigfoot's killer? Yes, I found traces of bug spray left on the plastic by your killer. Oh yeah, you can see the teeth on Priya. Then, analyzing the material inside the bag, I found facial hairs. Which means your killer has facial hair, so it's gotta be a guy. Things are about to get hairy for Bigfoot's killer, Matthew. And the bloody rock. You know, Matthew, until you arrived, Luke and I were the newest additions to the team. It's nice to see that we're all settling in nicely. Well, you and Matthew can rest easy, but I'm still on probation. I'm sure that'll be over soon. You're doing so well. You found the murder weapon. It's got Bigfoot's blood all over it. Yes! Oh, Matthew, we're so close to solving this case. Also, there were fibers stuck to the rock, and when I cleaned the blood from them, those fibers showed a dye pattern for plaid clothing. Of course, Bigfoot didn't wear clothes, so that leaves your killer, who definitely wears plaid. Okay, Matthew, we're on the lookout for a killer in plaid. Might be the construction worker. Alright, Matthew, let's go confront Bigfoot's killer. Okay, let's see. I was right. It's the lumberjack. Elwood Grimes, we know it was you who beat Bigfoot to death with a rock. What? You're crazy, kid. I'm a lumberjack. Why would I go up against a Bigfoot with a rock instead of my chainsaw? Well, he broke all your logging tools. You went to the museum to vent your anger, but that wasn't enough. So you followed his tracks through the woods and picked up a rock along the way to use when you found him. Who are you, the Bigfoot police? Close. We're supernatural hunters. We work to keep the peace among humans and the supernatural creatures of this world. And when a peaceful creature is murdered in cold blood, that's when we come a-knocking. Okay, I confess, I did it. But it's that Wexler's fault. I could have been killed. You mean Darius Wexler, the curator of the Bigfoot Museum in town? Yeah, him. After that animal busted all my tools and I went to the museum to break something for myself. Wexler offered to pay for my replacement tools if I helped him catch Bigfoot. Catch or kill? Catch. He wanted it alive. I came out here to set up a trap, but I ran into the thing as soon as I got up here. It was all over me before I knew what was what, so I grabbed the closest thing I could reach, a rock, and just started pounding. Eventually it just slumped down in a big hairy pile, dead. I killed a Bigfoot. But this wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Wexler. He's the one you want. We'll worry about Wexler, but for now, you're coming with us. Our chief's gotta have a word with you. Mr. Grimes, your murder here has serious ramifications. You gotta believe me, I was only defending myself. This Bigfoot was one of a rare species, but there are others, and peaceful or not, they will be coming for you now that you've killed one of them. You have to get out of town, out of the state even. What? Just like that? But my life is here. Well, your life won't be anywhere if you don't get out, and wherever you go, don't kill anything there. Matthew, you did well on that Bigfoot investigation. What about me, sir? Did I do well too? Yeah, I guess you helped okay. You still got a ways to go. Anyway, we have some loose ends. What about Mr. Wexler? He's the one who hired Mr. Grimes to trap Bigfoot in the first place. Wexler is your next assignment. That and tracking down Mina and the vampire who kidnapped her. No time for lazing around. There's still work to do. Let's go. Alright, I'll see you guys for a Taste of Blood 2-5. And we return. Let's start a Taste of Blood 2-5. Good work finding Bigfoot's killer, Matthew. Big Feet are already endangered, and it's not like they've got animal rights groups protecting them. We should do what we can. Fact is, Grimes wasn't the mastermind. He was greedy, but Wexler was the one who hired him. So now we've got to catch Wexler. Sir, I'll go with Matthew to get Wexler. Good, because that's not our only problem. We also need to rescue a girl who was kidnapped by a vampire. I'll go with Matthew and examine the spot Mina's eye pair was pinging us from. Didn't do that great on this. Matthew, that piece of fabric you found, doesn't it look like Mina's dress? She was definitely here. Let's get a sample of that stain on it. Maybe it was left by her kidnapper. Hopefully that sample from the torn dress will give Priya a lead on Mina's kidnapper. Now, let's see if we can find a way to arrest Darius Wexler. Mr. Wexler, we know you paid Elwood Grimes to go out into the woods and catch Bigfoot for you. You're the reason Bigfoot is dead now. You're not journalist for the Bigfoot Daily Gazette. I should have known when I searched for your publication and came up with nothing. So what are you really, Matthew? Some kind of Bigfoot protection force? Something like that. And you're in big trouble. I suppose you'll tell the police I ordered a hit on Bigfoot. Ha! You have no legal authority over me. Now, if you'll kindly leave my museum, I have more important matters to tend to. Damn, Matthew, how are we going to get Wexler? People think Bigfoot is a myth. He can't go to jail for killing a mythical creature. Good point. If Wexler's gone this far to catch a Bigfoot, it means he's not above shady practices to get what he wants. There's got to be another criminal charge we can get him on. It's just a matter of figuring out what. While he's distracted with his important matters, let's look around the museum. How about that? I get up to first place thanks to a lucky find. Well, Matthew, here's a bin of stuffed animals. We can't bust him for this unless he stole them. Wait, why is the bin labeled Do Not Touch? These are just plushies. Let's take a closer look at what's in here. Different color plushies. What's beneath them all? Got it. An amber amulet. Matthew, what is this amulet thing? And why was it in the bin of Bigfoot plushies? Well, this explains why Wexler wrote Do Not Touch on it. He wanted to keep this thing hidden. Let's see what Felix can tell us about this amulet. Six hours. I'll see you guys when these two are finished. Okay, we are back. Let's get the results of the unknown substance from Priya. Matthew, the substance you brought me doesn't feel kidnappy, to use one of Gwen's words. I mean, it was torn from Mina's dress, probably when she was dragged by a vampire through the woods. What's not kidnappy about that? Well, the substance was Earl Grey tea and bits of scone crumbs with orange marmalade. You're right, Matthew. This doesn't add up. A kidnapper doesn't have tea parties with their victim. Wait, Matthew, didn't you meet a tea party-obsessed vampire during your case? We know Mina's kidnapper is a vampire. Let's go grill this Bathsheba. "376 years old, jeez. Bathsheba, do you recognize this fabric? That was going to be Dolly's dress, but it got all sticky, so she can't wear it to the vampire ball now." Well, Dolly's dress came from a girl who was kidnapped. What do you know about that? Oh, I don't know anything about a kidnapped girl. Fabian gave the fabric to me. Is this Fabian a vampire too? Of course! He's like my brother. I mean, not like my real brother, but like my brother because we're vampires together. Matthew, let's go find Fabian. And talking about tea and scones made me hungry. Let's grab a snack on the way. Fabian Delamort. Fabian, did you know that this fabric you had was torn from the dress of a young lady who was kidnapped? I am aware of the kidnapping. Dr. Aculus already questioned me about it. I profess I know nothing. I discovered the swatch near a cave during my nocturnal wanderings in the wood. But that is a dreary subject. I am interested to know, are you Gwendolyn? Gwen, yes. What's it to you? Pierce described you as prettier when he regaled myself and the others at home with tales of your outings together. Pierce what? What home? You live with Pierce? Oh, it isn't like that, dear heart. Don't worry. I simply mean the gatherings at Dr. Aculus's mansion. When we're together, Pierce and the rest of us. The rest of you? You mean vampires? Pierce is a vampire? Oh, you seem surprised. You weren't aware? What he sees in you is somewhat lost on me, but that cannot be helped. However, at least doing something with your hair would be a slight improvement. Uh-oh. Matthew, I can't believe what Fabian said about Pierce. He can't be a vampire. It's true I've never seen him outside in the daytime, and he never eats much on our dates, but surely that doesn't mean anything. Gwen, are you okay? No! The love of my life is a vampire. Has he been playing me all along? This is a hard realization you're facing. Take some time for yourself. Don't worry about the investigation. I'll help Matthew. Man, Gwen's had tough luck in romance, but a vampire boyfriend takes the cake. It'll take her a bit to get back on her feet from this. In the meantime, I'm happy to help out. It's been a while since Jake and I were actually hunting out in the field. So I told Hope what Fabian said about finding the torn fabric near a cave in the forest. There are probably lots of caves there, but instead of running around trying to find all of them, she suggested using cave finding tech. We don't have a geoelectrical probe just lying around, but Hope found one at the cave bar you visited, and they've agreed to let us use it. Let's go get it. There we go. Didn't work. That's gotta be the geoelectrical probe we'll use to find the cave where Mina's being kept, Matthew. But before we walk off with the wrong thing, let's open it up and make sure. Got it. Yes, Matthew, this is the probe we need to locate the kidnapper's cave. Let's take it back to Hope so she can get it running. This is 9 hours, but I will have a surprise for later, but let's get the results from Felix first. Oh ho, Matthew, you've hit the jackpot. Wexler is indeed doo-doo now. Does the doo-doo have something to do with that amulet? Why was it hidden? That amulet was hidden because it was swiped from the Institute of Pre-Byzantium in Turkey a few months ago. It's a buzzard claw stuck in amber. Early Turkic shamans used this thing to try to get the Almas to come hang with them. Almas is basically the Caucasus version of a Bigfoot. I can't deal when people steal public heritage from museums. Someone hooked something from the Smithsonian recently, and I legit lost sleep thinking about it. Now this. Well, possession of stolen artifacts is totally something we can report Wexler for. Let's tip the police and go get him. Let's arrest him. Darius Wexler, you're coming with us. Matthew, what is this about? Am I under arrest? I don't suppose you could enlighten me to the charge against me first? That's of an important piece from the Institute of Pre-Byzantium. What? How do you know about that? That'll teach you to make shady deals, Mr. Wexler. You can't arrest me. This is my life's work. I have more to do. Still more to discover. And more to steal? In your dreams. You're coming with us, buddy. Thanks for helping catch this guy, Matthew. You've got a reward coming from the Institute. Okay, hold on, folks. Well, I did say I'd have a surprise, and here it is. I'm going to speed this up. And considering I start school again, another week of school tomorrow, let's get this over with. Well, Hope, is that geoelectrical probe going to do the trick to help us find the cave where Mina's being held captive? It will. I started the mapping where Mina's iPair watch was sending its GPS ping, the picnic area and its environs. I detected a large number of resistivity anomalies, caves nearby, which is good and bad news. Let me guess, the good news is we found caves, and the bad news is we don't know which one Mina is in? Precisely. But I do have a hunch. There is one such cave that is well off the beaten path. It's the only one whose placement renders it essentially invisible to the casual hiker's eye. Sounds like that's our cave. Come on, Matthew, let's mount a rescue. Okay, this seems to be the cave Hope mentioned. Let's go inside and see if Mina's here. Matthew, it's dark in here. Can you see Mina? What? Matthew, it's you! Oh, what a relief! Yes, Mina, we found you. You don't have to be afraid anymore. We'll get you out of here, and then you can tell us what happened if you feel up to it. Mina, how are you feeling? Are you okay to talk about what happened? Oh, so weak. My head is all poundy, but yeah, we can do the talking thing now if you want. Do you remember anything about your kidnapper? I remember glowy red eyes and fangs in my neck, and then everything got all shadowy and I was in spinny darkness. I woke up a little later and the darkness was muttering something about Black Ridge. Then it was like, so please, virgin blood. Virgin blood? Yes, I guess that was about me. Kinda embarrassing. But I remember thinking, whoa, if I wasn't so narcotized, I'd be totes creeped out right now. And then I woke up again, and then you rescued me. And if you didn't come, I don't know what would have happened. Thank you so much for your help, Matthew. Matthew, I still can't believe Pierce lied to me and turned out to be a treacherous bloodsucker. But apparently it's true. I've spoken to him. By spoken to him, you mean... I hope you mean you broke it off with him, because vampire boyfriend sounds like trouble. Yes, of course I've broken it off. I'm a hunter and he's a vampire, and it was never meant to be, no matter how hot he is, and how funny. Pierce and I are done. We're never ever getting back together. I've already forgotten his beautiful eyes and his swoon-worthy smile. I see you have. Anyway, Matthew and I have progress to inform the chief about. Sir, we're glad to report that Wexler's been arrested. We got him on an artifact smuggling charge, but he knows he's really being punished by us for Bigfoot. Good work, Matthew. You did well. Between that and rescuing Nina Reynolds. Looks like Nina's vampire captor fed on her a few times, but they didn't turn her. She said the vampire said something about her virgin blood. Sounds like preparation for a ritual, if you ask me. And I looked up the other thing she said. Black Ridge. It's a ghost town in Nevada. Must be where the vampire is doing whatever they've got planned. I don't like any of it. We've got to figure out what that plan is and stop them. Looks like we're heading to Black Ridge, Nevada. Buckle up, Matthew. Kind of like this tune. Although I would like to see us journey back to Pacific Bay. It'll be nice to catch up with everyone again. Halloween Day, that's 4 days from now on. That's a Thursday. Okay, that's going to do. So I'll see you guys on October 31st. See y'all soon.